Per APA rules, if you make something on the break, that is what you are. If you make one stripe, you are that set of balls for 8-ball. If you make both a stripe and a solid, then it is open table after the break. So obviously Steven has stripes now. So one thing he's got to do is, if he decides he wants to try to run out, he's got to address that cluster up in the top left corner. He's got to address it early. You never want to wait till the end to get that cluster, because it leaves you with little escape if you get in trouble. So either he's got to figure out if he's going to try to run out, or if he's going to try to play it safe somewhere in the rack. Just missed the side pocket. Now for Roland, everything looks open. There's really no tie-ups. Looks like the 7-ball, that little cluster close to the 8. That looks like it could be a troublesome spot, because you do have to get on the bottom side of it. But let's see how he plays it here. He ended up scratching. I think he's keeping that 3-ball down there as a safety, just in case for some reason that stuff like that happens, or something happens unfortunate. The chances of Steven running this out are not very strong, because obviously that cluster down there is a little tough. A couple of people asked who's doing the commentary. This is Brian Dietzenbach. Nick is actually playing. So Nick is playing a match right now. So this is Brian Dietzenbach doing the commentary for this match at least. He's going to try to break it out right here. You got one of the balls. Now what Steven's going to have to do, he's going to have to try, I think he's going to have to try to play it safe here. I would try to, it looks like he's going to skim the 10 and just kind of tuck it right up to that 3. There you go. That's a good shot. It kind of buys him some time to, at least have chances at a breakout shot. You never want to get that 10 out of there, because that 10 can be used to break out the rest of the balls. It's a good leg by Roland. If he made the ball, great. If he didn't make the ball, there's nothing that hurts him here. That's a really great shot. Really great shot by Steven. Basically what it accomplished is it opened up the balls. I mean, you can still shoot at the 3, but it still kind of kept that pocket blocked. So now there's really not a lot. He basically took away a pocket. So it looks like the 8-ball does go in one of the pockets. So I think Roland pretty much only has the 2 available. I think the 1 might go in the side. Nice shot. I think the one does go. If the one does go, you can just kind of stop it and kind of push the other ball up a little bit, and that can be used to. There you go. So his trouble again is that 4-7, kind of on the left side of the table here. He's got to get to that somehow. He left himself a little tough. So he has a couple options. He can be aggressive, try to go for a bank, or obviously, I don't know if he wants to make the ball in the upper corner. That's kind of his get out of jail free card if he gets in trouble. Or he can try to play safe, try to hit the ball on the right side and leave the cue ball in the upper right corner to try to, you know, make it a hard shot. He did go aggressive. Actually still left him pretty good. It's kind of a two-way shot, so he went for the bank. If he makes it, great, and if he didn't, obviously it left him really hard. But more importantly, he opened up that little cluster. That was the important part.
You're trash.
So from here, Roland has everything open. I think that 8, I'm not sure if that 8 comes to this corner here. I couldn't tell you. If not, he'll have to use the 7 last to get on it. He's going to slow down. He didn't want to hit it that hard, I don't think. So what he's going to do, he's going to cut it into the side pocket here, go 3 rails, and get shape on the 7 for that bottom corner. Oh, just missed it. You got great shape.
Makes me feel better. I'm feeling really good about myself. Yeah, that's what I said. Falls in the match.
All right, this will be the game shot here. He's going to go high English, it looks like, and he's going to go around the other side of the 8. Great shot, got perfect on the 8. Nice little bump. Just take his time, stay down on the shot. It's against the rail, so you just got to really kind of stay down on your shot and just follow through. Oh, he just missed it. Don't scratch. Oh, he scratched. He just needed to hit it nice and easy. Those are one of those shots you just can't punch. You can't just go. You just got to hit it nice and smooth, stay down, and just follow through on your shot. And it'll go easily, but it's unfortunate. But Roland will take it for the 1-0 lead. Sometimes those rail shots can be a little tricky. All right, guys, I do apologize. We got offline a little bit, so thanks for jumping back onto us. The internet kicked us out, so we had to push back in, but honestly, didn't miss too much. Sometimes 8-ball can be a safety game, and that's what kind of this is running on to right now, so you really didn't miss too many things, so this is a tough safety. So let's see here. Roland has a pretty open out. I would save the 6 for last. So the 6 would be my last ball to shoot. If he wants to slow roll the 1 into the 7, or even just make the 7 first, he can. That's perfect. I would take that 1 again. And then get, no, I guess either way. You could go 1 or 6. Doesn't really matter. My preference would be go 1, 2, then 6, just it gives you more room. But if he wants to go 6, 2, 1, either way, the 6 or the 1 have to be the last ball. So whatever ball gets him better onto the 2, that's the one he needs to shoot. Whatever he's more comfortable with. So he's got a bigger pocket here. He can do a little bit of an angle. I'm just going to draw it straight back. Nope. You need to go either to the rail or not to the rail. So you either needed to come straight back or you needed to use the rail to kind of bump off it. Either you got right in the middle and didn't do either. So now he has kind of a tough decision here. Oh, just missed it. Left a little bit of a difficult shot. It's going to be hard to get back down onto the 8 because he's up against the rail. He's going to have to hit this pretty solid and come back 2 rails. He's going to have to try to hit just short of the side pocket and then come back out to the middle of the table so he can try to get the 8. But he's got to make the ball. Oh, good shot. Oh, great shot. He came around the side pocket. Great shot. That's not an easy shot. It was a good shot. It's a very nice out. All right, we are 1-1. This is a race of 7. They are 2 games into the 8-ball. They will play a total of 5 8-ball games, and then they will shift to 9-ball. So it looks like he obviously made a solid on the break, so that's why he has to take solids. So I do like stripes here. I think stripes are a really good layout. He technically is blocking 2 pockets. He can be aggressive and go for the out in the run out, or he can elect to kind of play it a little bit safe. Whatever he does decide to do, he wants to make sure that he doesn't run too many balls off. He wants to kind of position his balls. If he plays the safe route, he needs to position some certain balls. That way he can have a decent run out if for some reason he does put him in safe and the other guy misses. The 8-ball is tied up. He's going to have to try to break that out if he wants to be aggressive. I think he's going to have to try to play it safe here. The 13 is blocking this pocket down here. What I would probably do is I would probably just kind of bump that 15 right where he's standing at and just put it on the rail and make Steven try to do something. Make him be aggressive. It's a good shot. All right. Now what's he going to do? Okay. Well, it didn't do any harm, so he missed it, but it's actually still sitting pretty good. He's still blocking that pocket as a safety. There's that cluster in the middle, and he's blocking the upper left pocket too for all those balls kind of in that cluster. So he's still in really good shape. I think what Steven needs to try to do is he needs to he's obviously not going to run it out because this is a very tough rack to run out. So he needs to try to make Roland commit an error himself. So this is kind of knowing what your opponent is trying to do. So what you need to do is try to push balls to pockets if I'm Steven. So he played a good safe, played a good lag. Roland only has one shot at the 9 and that's it. So if I were Steven, I would be pushing balls to pockets, trying to get balls set up, because obviously neither of them are going to run this out because it is a tough rack. So set your balls up to where you have opportunities to either break out balls or actually have a good run. All right. So Steve is still in the same situation. I would kind of tackle this cluster here. I'd probably knock that 5 out of there and kind of tuck that cue ball in between the 8 and the 3 and the 6. That way Roland doesn't have a shot. And you can kind of pick at that cluster and get those balls away from that cluster a little bit. Steven's going to need to try to put Roland in a tough position. It's a great shot. So now he's got to figure out a safety here. Sometimes being too aggressive when you know that you don't have a rack you can run out, sometimes being too aggressive can actually hurt you. Because what you're doing is you're knocking away all of your balls and leaving an open table so that when you do eventually miss or it's harder to play a safe, then there's an open table for your opponent. So you have to be aware of kind of how the game's playing and if you need to be aggressive or you need to actually, play more of a strategy game. This particular game, it's got to be more of a strategy game because there's so many clusters at the bottom. That's actually a really nice shot. Roland still has a shot, but it's actually a great shot. It knocks out a cluster, and it gives Roland a really hard shot. So if Roland misses this, obviously, he's going to have some decent opportunities. The 8 is still pretty tough. So I think Roland just needs to be aggressive here. He needs to actually try to pocket balls and get to that 8 somehow. Oh, he does miss. So if I were Steven, I'd make the 5, make the 2, and then the 3-6 really don't have pockets to go into because that 15 is blocking it. So what I would do is I would play a safe and kind of tuck that cue ball up into the little area there where the 8 and 3 are at, and just go right off the 6. And that way he doesn't really have a shot. So I would make this 2 here and leave myself with an angle that I can either bump his 15 out and kind of hide the cue ball behind the 3 and 8. And that way Roland doesn't have a shot. So that, you know, essentially you're bumping his ball out and leaving yourself wide open. All right. Well, he tried to break it out. Now he's got a difficult leave. Again, sometimes you gotta. This 8-ball is a very creative game. You have to know how to play certain safes, when to play certain safes. You just have to. It helps you create situations. Oh, great combo! Oh, that's a huge shot right there. So now he's got to hit this 3, and he's got to come 2 rails. He's got to come down and back up, because obviously the 8 does not go in the top left. So he needs to put a little bit of high on it, and he needs to go back and forth. Basically sit where the 3's at. Oh, he just missed the ball. Thanks for everybody tuning in, watching the U.S. Amateur Preliminary Rounds. This is Roland Hundley. He's from Fairfax, Virginia. Stephen Ashman, I can't remember where in Delaware he told me. I do apologize. So if anybody's on the stream from Delaware, I do apologize. But he's a Delaware boy. We got a lot of Delaware guys down here right now. So. Good turnout from them. I always like seeing them every year. Really good group of people. Mark Goki actually runs the APA up in Delaware there, so really nice group of people. So he's got to get the bridge. He's going to have to make the 9, and if he's got an angle, which I'm going to check to see. Looks like he has an angle, so I would go high English, off the rail and back down. In this scenario, you always have better control of high English than you do low English. So high English always gives you more control. Okay, left himself a little cut, but it's very manageable. He just has to use pocket speed here because the cue ball is going to naturally float down. Doesn't need to use any English, just a nice pocket speed shot, and you should be fine. There you go. Get off the rail. All right, he should be good to go. Again, he's got to stay down on a shot. He's got to stay down on a shot and just follow through with it. Pocket speed. There you go. Nice shot, Roland. All right, we are 2-1. Roland is ahead. So each game has its advantages. You know, 9-ball is obviously a run-out game. It kind of helps you get position, make balls, just allows you to get into a good rhythm. 8-ball is more of a strategy game. Sometimes you have the run-out. Sometimes you know that if you have a cluster of balls, you have to kind of think on the defensive. And, you know, depending on who your player is, you know, if they're going to make the mistakes, let them make the mistakes. You know, if you're too aggressive, and you know that they have a chance of, you know, either running out or even getting lucky, you want to put them in positions to where they have to make tough decisions, and you make the easy decisions. So that's kind of where 8-ball is at. Okay. So FYI, in this event, if the 8 is made on the break, which it was close, that is considered a win. So if he had made the 8 on the break, it would have been a win.
Alright, how's it going? Yeah, that's what I do. I've been Harry Potter. Yeah, because, you know, it's like Pokemon, just catch them. It's going on, it's a good spot.
All right, so Roland does have a fairly open table. He wants to address this cluster as soon as he can. Kind of just above his cue there. If the combo goes, he needs to get it now. Because there's nothing else blocking each other. He needs to address that as soon as possible. If he's going to take the aggressive route. Which, if he does right now, would be the time to knock it out. He's got the angle. Looks like he's going to try to do that. Center English. Oh, he missed it. You got to make the ball first. And he put the 2 right back in the same spot. So Steven has a few opportunities here. It looks like everything goes. The 2 goes, the 5 goes down there. It looks like pretty much everything is open. So I'm thinking that combination might go. I'm not sure. Can't really tell. He's going to shoot it like it does go. If it goes, then he should have a wide open table here. Yes, it does. All right. He's sitting a little tough, but I think it's pretty doable. Just got an unfortunate roll. I think the only shot he has is the combination from the 10 to the 12 up top, which looks like he's going for right now. And he made a good shot. So it looks like he's got an open table here. I would say if you can get the 10 in the side and just hold the cue ball, you might have a chance to get to the other 2 balls. He's got it nice and easy. Oh, just missed it. So now Steven has an open table. Left himself in a tough spot on the rail there. I think he's going to have to shoot the 5 ball down there. Or he's going to go for the 1, actually. Great shot. And he put himself right back on the rail. Now he's going to take the 5. Another nice shot. Looks like now he's going to have to try to bank it and just kind of just float the cue ball down. Don't really think he has anything else. Yeah, from this angle, I think he's just going to have to go for the bank. Great shot. Great shot. Pulled it back. Now with this shot, he's going to run to the other ball, so high English, probably with a little bit of left, and just let it run around. There you go. Perfect. That's exactly what he needed to do. All right. Steven makes it 2-2. All right. For all you guys watching the stream, I think Wayne is up also. I think Wayne's up. He's got like 4 games to 1 or 4 games to none. I don't know how Nick is doing. Not sure where he's at right now over there. But I know Wayne is currently leading in his match. So this will be the last game of 8-ball. After this game, we will shift to 9-ball, and then we'll finish out the race in 9-ball. It's a good little egg. He knows he didn't have a shot, so he just kind of pushed the cue ball in a tough spot. Great shot, Roland. Sometimes when you have the opportunity at a table, you want to try to make sure that you take advantage of it by putting one of your balls in a spot that makes it advantage to you. So either pushing a ball to a pocket and blocking a pocket, or even blocking a rail. Sometimes people don't realize blocking rails, especially when they have balls on rails, it's actually very helpful. Because now it forces them to find a different way to make that ball.
Yeah, 11:30. What's up, bro? Yeah, better today. I'll get you smoke.
Okay, very nice shot. So he needs to be able to get that cluster out down there. I know the one is kind of, I don't know if that one goes in any of the corners, but I'd probably take the shot that he's doing now and work on getting these balls away from that 8-ball. Got to come out a little bit. All right, that's a nice shot. So you could draw it back into the 8 and kind of just let the cue ball sit right there for the 2. Oh, he got past the 8. I don't think he wanted to get past the 8. I think he just wanted to just bump it. All right, now he's in a tough little spot. Really not too much he can do. He just has to kind of kick and get a hit and hope Roland makes a mistake. Good kick. All right, so Roland has a lot of opportunities here. Nothing's really too tied up for him. I think everything does go, but he's got some problems up in the top right there. He needs to decide if he's going to try to, if he's going to be aggressive and run out, he needs to go for it. If he's going to play more of a safety, he needs to make sure that he gives himself the opportunity to play the saves. I think he can be aggressive here. I think he can definitely go for a run out. The 9-ball goes here, he can stop it. And basically he can shoot that combo if he'd like. I don't know if that 13-ball goes anywhere. I can't really tell from this angle. He missed the combo, but I think he still might be okay. Because that 1, I don't see that 1 going anywhere. So, again, Steven either has to be aggressive and try to bank the 1, or he has to somehow play a safe. If he tries to play the safe, he needs to get that cue ball down in the bottom. He needs to bring it all the way down. I would say maybe clip that 1 and just bring the cue ball all the way down by that pocket at the bottom corner. So he's going for the 2 first. Now he doesn't want to make it. If he makes this, he's got no other. So he made it, but the problem is he's got no other shot now. So in 8-ball, you never want to get down to your last ball and not have a shot, because now he's stuck. And if he misses, Roland has a wide open table. So with 8-ball, you always want to leave yourself kind of a get out of jail free ball. Like if for some reason you get stuck in a bad position, then you can use that ball to actually get out of save. He made an amazing shot. That was a great, great shot. Wow. That was a really good shot. So he came across 2 rails and snugged him right behind that 8-ball. Roland just needs to get a hit on the ball. If he can hit the ball, then he should be okay, because if he hits it with, don't kill it. Don't hit it too hard. Just nice regular speed. If he can make contact with the ball, it'll leave him with a tough shot. He just needs to actually just contact the ball and don't hit it really hard. Okay, see, exactly, perfect. So that's exactly what Roland did. He had a nice steady speed. He contacted the ball and left Steven with actually a really hard shot. So even if he makes the 1, getting down to the 8 is going to be pretty hard to do. So now Steven somehow has to find another safety here. Or do what he can. If he wanted to be aggressive, you could try to bank it up into the side of the top of the table with a lot of bottom left and have that cue ball come to the rail and back down. That's one way. He's going to try to cut this. I don't think he can cut this, but we'll see. We'll see if he can. Oh, he didn't stay down. He jumped up on a shot, and it was a miscue. Sometimes when you want to hit a ball hard or you have to really kind of thin a ball, you kind of don't commit to it. I don't think he was committed to the shot. So he jumped up on a shot and ended up miscuing. It happens all the time. We all do it. So he does need to get that 14 out of there. That's the first ball for sure. I would stop it and then try to knock that other ball in the pocket. Not the 12, but the other. I think that's the 13.
Good morning.
So I would make the 13, draw it straight back so he can get to the 12. Okay, he bumped it a little bit, but let's see where he ends up. All right. He could probably go for the, I mean, he's going to go for the 12, but either ball's a safe ball. I would probably go for the 15 here, but I think he can get shape on the 15 from the 12. No, he was really straight. It was really hard to get an angle on it. So if he shoots the 15, he can just go to the rail and come back out. But with the 12, he would have had to force the cue ball to come around. If you don't have to force the cue ball, try not to, obviously. All right. So good shot. Good angle. Should be an easy finish. Steven takes the lead 3-2. We are going to 9-ball. So it is now a 9-ball to finish the set. It's a race to 7. Steven needs 4 more games. Roland needs 5 more games. So obviously this will probably pick up a little bit more because 8-ball is more of a strategy game. As you can see, a lot of different strategies need to be used. This is going to be more of an aggressive game. A little bit more runouts, going for more shots. This is going to be more about position play, making sure that you actually can get yourself the right angles and the right position to get to the next ball. He's got a tough little shot here. I think it might pass. I don't know if the other angle will see it, but I think he can hit it. So he just chose to hit it. Played a really good lag. Let's see if he snookered him or not. Looks like there, there is a window, so Roland can see it. This is going to be a tough shot to control the cue ball. It's got such a sharp angle on it. He made it, but it was hard to hold it. So it's just kind of, it is what it is. So he's going to have to try to shoot that 2-ball in the corner here in the bottom left corner. I don't think he'll scratch. He should be fine. If he can make it, it's natural English. Oh, just missed it. But he had shape for the 3. So obviously Steven's going to want to make the 2, put probably a little bit of higher right, just a little bit of right, or center right. We'll just bring it right back out, literally to the center of the table, almost where it's at now. If he can get straight in, it's even better. Oh, a little too hard. He's got to slow down. Oh, that's hard. Just very unfortunate. He put himself right behind that 7. So this is where, again, 9 ball is a game of cue ball control, speed control, putting yourself in the right position for ball. So this is actually, I think he's just going to push that 7 up into the 3. Didn't do it hard enough, but he didn't really have anything there. He was kind of in a tough spot. So Roland he needs to be on the left side of the 5. So, because he needs to get up to the 6. So he can't get above the 5. He's got to hit it just hard enough to stay below. But he's got to make the ball. So he got good position. Same thing with Steven. He needs to get below the 5 a little bit, so that way he can come back up for the 6. That's perfect. Slow down. Oh, a little hard, but I think he can get there. He can cut it, and he might have to go around the 6. Oh, he just missed the ball. Hey, Jerry. Yes, I'm still here. Good to see you on the stream. I'm going to actually let Nick take over for a little bit. I have to actually attend something. I got to help out with the tournament. So Nick is going to take over here. But it's good talking to you guys. Jerry, good to see you. Hopefully we'll see you down in Florida. Hopefully I'll make it there and all of us others. I'll talk to you guys soon.
All right, what's going on, guys? Mr. Rob Hemling, I'm glad to see you joining us this morning. This is Nick Spriggs, sponsor TTMD pool player. Also a player representative for Lambros Q's. How's everybody doing this morning? Glad to be back. I just got done my match. Wayne also just got done his match. I think he finished and got the W. I played my match. I won 7-3. I found my stroke early, jumped out 4-1 on 8 ball. But priority here is this match at hand. I think we have a question right now. We're holding up the match. Let's see. All right, so they're back to play. Steve's to the table. I think he's going to push. Now, Roland here has the option to either give back or shoot the shot. I think he's going to shoot the shot. Sorry, I do believe I missed the game in transition between me and Brian. Roland pockets the 1, now pockets the 2. Gives himself nice position on this 3 ball. Just draw it back a little bit, get back to center table. Oh, and he just misses the ball. He got perfect position to get down to that 5 and just missed the 3. I tell you, playing with a Lambros ever since I picked it up, I was playing with a Predator Revo, and as soon as Wayne gave me his Lambros to shoot with, I fell in love. I had to get myself one. Thanks, Rob. I appreciate the kind words. Z-Back should be here. You're correct. He's a strong shooter, and I feel like he could do well in this field. That's a phenomenal bank shot. Didn't get the cue ball really where he wanted it, but nonetheless, he did make a great shot there. I feel like the 9 ball is going to take a little bit of a ride here. And it does. So he ties the 9 ball up behind that 5 ball and allows Steven to come to the table with a 4-8 combo. So now Steve has to think to himself how he wants to attack this 5 ball. And it looks like he's going to go straight for it. He gets the breakout on it too. He's going to leave himself a 5-6 combo. Hey Z, I tell myself the same thing. I'm not a big table player, but I did string a couple 5, 6, 7 ball runs and 8 ball, as in 9 ball as well on these tables today. They're playing phenomenal. That's a great save by Steve. I think he did leave a window between that 6 and the 9 ball for Roland to get through. He also may have left the angle to play that 5-7 combo and have a chance to get out. That's what he's eyeing up. I think the only place that he can hit this ball on this 5 ball is going to be the spot where he has to hit it to combo the 7. He hit the 6 ball first. I was watching him line up on that, and it looked like he was going to go straight in that 6 ball. Just the way his cue was lined up on that cue ball. Hey, Mike, these are the biggest pocket 9-foot tables I've played on, if you play a top hat at all. They're no match for these. Mariah, there's not an online bracket. It's a paper bracket behind me on the wall. If you'd like me to, I can have somebody take pictures, or I'll take pictures and I'll post them myself. It's hard to keep track of it. There are 5 separate men's brackets and 1 single women's bracket. So Steve misses the 6 ball here and is going to give Roland the opportunity to get out of this rack and jump out. And jump up 4-3. This is Masters format, if you're just tuning in. The men's division plays a race to 7, 5 8 ball, 8 9 ball. So Roland rattles the pocket with this 6 ball. So I think he might have enough room past the 7 ball to tap the 6. Oh, we miscued. That's unfortunate because now Roland's going to come to the table with ball in hand on a 3 ball out within a foot of each other. I think you just play this ball to come back on the opposite side of the table. No matter where you're at, you're in the right spot. Great shot there. Just slow roll this 7 ball in. I'm not sure if it's Mariah or Larry in the chat, but I will get pictures of that as soon as I have a chance to. So it looks like Roland's going to solidify a 4-3 lead here. And he does. So Roland jumps up 4-3 over Steven. Sorry about the audio. I stepped away for a second so I can get those brackets posted on my personal page. So, Larry, if you want to go view my page, the brackets are posted. Sergio, we will be streaming ladies' matches whenever they put them on our table. I'm sure we will be, for sure, streaming the finals of the men's and women's brackets. Unfortunate roll by Roland there. So the brackets aren't updated with those pictures. They're not an updated bracket, but it does give you a feel of what's going on. My name has not been moved over yet. So Steve looks like he's going to try to tie this up. Oh, he sends the cue ball down on the wrong end of the table. That's going to be rough. I cannot tell if he's on the point or not. Not a problem, Sergio. I'm glad to see you tuning in, buddy. All the way from Newport News. Yeah, that distance is going to be a tough shot for anybody. He might get lucky with a leave here. Nope, the cue ball just kept rolling. So Roland's coming back to the table and he's going to try to push this lead 5-3 in a race to 7. And he does. So Roland jumps up 5-3. I will be right back just so I can make sure the score is correct. I have to check their score sheet. All right, and I'm back. The score is correct. It is 5-3 Roland.
I probably left it right now.
So Roland made a ball on the break, and it looks like he might be in a push scenario or a jump shot. Maybe he's going to elect to masse around this 5. That's a great shot, but he's going to follow it in. Nothing you could do about that. That was a fantastic masse. So Steve has ball in hand. And it looks like he's going to try to push this 3 ball past the 6 into the side. He changes his mind. I would as well. Try to put that cue ball down on the other side of the table where the 7 ball is, to then play the 5 in the opposite side. Oh, he just wants to play this 4-8 combo here. Gotta be careful, you don't want that 4 to go loose. It's gonna too. I would have personally rolled that 4 ball into that 8 to leave the 4 where it was. Replace the 8 with the 4 ball. So he's gonna have to back cut this 4 ball in the corner where the 8 ball was just played. and makes it look, oh, almost made it look easy. It's going to leave Roland a tough shot here. Four ball is out of the pocket. So, Larry, the APA has sanction over who gets put on our TV table. Not our decision. We'd love to put the best matches up, but wherever they tell us to put on is what we put on.
But I did want to tell you a story.
So Steve on a pretty good run here. Try to tighten this gap up. He's down 2. It depends on how he wants to play this ball. If he wants to try to stun it and draw it past that side pocket. He's going to play into the rail, and it's not going to look pretty. Donna, I'm not 100% sure. I can't keep track of the bracket. They're not updating it behind me regularly, so I can't tell you if she won or not. I apologize for that. Oh, and he's just going to catch the point. So Steve gets fortunate and does not leave Roland an easy shot on this 9 ball. He's going to have to work for it. He undercut it. Again, not leaving an easy shot. So think about these 9-foot tables. If you miss the 9 ball, you leave it on the bottom rail, it's going to be a tough shot for your opponent. So they're calling out matches over the PA. I'm going to keep the mic on mute as she does that. All right, so I believe she's done calling out the 11:30 round. So we're back to the game here. Steve's to the table. I cannot tell if he can see that one ball or not. Bunch of balls moving on the table. Nothing falls though, so Roland is back to the table with a clear shot on the one ball. Fairly easy transition to the two. Just slice that two on the side and maybe give yourself an opportunity at that 3-9 combo. So he makes the two and rolls himself up. He's pretty straight on this three ball into the corner. Looks like he's gonna just elect the run. You don't want to bump the 7. Did not get where he wanted to be on that 5. He wanted to draw past that ball. So it looks like he's gonna play the bank shot in the side pocket. Oh man, he missed that by half a ball. That was a great attempt from the lead that he left himself. So Steve's going to come back to the table with the 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 on left. Looks like he's going to try to pocket this in the top right corner. And he does. Great shot there. You can play just a stop shot on this 6 ball. You don't have to do too much. Your 7's natural to get back for the 8-9 combo. That's what you're going to be forced to shoot. Well, it looks like he's going to leave himself the 7 straight in and then have to shoot that 8 ball up table. Oh, he drew it out. The cue ball is going to roll all the way to the bottom rail. This table is super fast. That's not going to be a fun combo here, especially when he's trying to tie it up 5-5. But it looks like he's going to fire at it. Hope it goes. He just doesn't get what he needs. It all comes back to that 6 ball. He drew it like crazy, got where he needed to be, straight on it, but once he was on that 7, it was a little rough.
Table 16, Dave Barnes, Lee Cochran.
So rolling to the table with that 9 ball in a tight spot to try to get back to here. You don't want to draw this ball into the side pocket if you're shooting the 8. He's going to get the cue ball down for that 9 too. But it does miss the 8. So Steve's back to the table with another not an easy shot. He's gonna have to bank this 8 in the side or try to play it safe by pushing the cue ball up to the top rail. So it looked like he was trying to play safe there and leave a long shot. So for those of you just tuning in, this is Nick's Breaks, a sponsored THINKTECHMD pool player. Also a player representative for Lambert's Cues. I'm taking over the duties for Wayne after he just got done his match. Taking a little break, getting a little breather in. And then after this match, I'm sure he'll get back on and commentate for the next one. But Roland's going to try to draw this ball back down to the 9 from what it looks like. Fires it in. That's a great shot. It's going to be on the wrong side of the 9 ball, but still a makeable ball. That was a good stroke. He pulling that ball. So the shot on the 9, not easy by any means. Whether he wants to go for the ball or play the safe. He does go for the ball, and he makes it. That's a great shot by Roland to put himself on the hill. Can't get much better than that. It was a fantastic shot on that 8 ball to get back down for the 9. So Roland puts himself on the hill over Steve. It's going to be a 1-3 race. Steve needs to string 3 racks together here. Try to pull out the W. So Roland breaks dry. And it's going to bring Steve back to the table again. So it's looking like Steve's going to cut this ball in the corner. Send that cue ball flying back down for that 2. He's going to get great shape on this 2 ball from the position it was in. Got on the right side, just cue ball kept rolling. Stuck in the corner. He tried playing the combo on the 7 and just barely missed it. It's going to leave Roland tough, though. I know he can see the 2 from where he's at. He's got him on the right side of the table, though. Roland's got the stretch and use the bridge here. Which I don't believe there's one on this table. He has to grab one from the other one. Good hit by Roland. Pushes the 7 to the rail. So if you're Steve here, you want to play safe and you want to leave a long shot. So I would personally cut into this 2 ball with a little bit of outside English.
set up.
So it looked like he tried doing that, but happened to skim the 9. I would have shot further away from that and put that cue on the bottom rail. Gives Roland the opportunity to try to get out of this rack. He fires that 2-ball in there. Gets the cue ball back down for the 3. Pockets the 3. Gets back out center table for that 4-ball. Now he has to decide if he wants to play the 4-6 combo or if he wants to carry him the 4 off the 7 in the corner. It looked like he tried carrying him off the 7, but it hit the 6 as well and just sat in place. So Steve comes back to the table with the 4 in the corner. Yeah, Roland left him in a tough spot on that 2-ball. Probably could have tried making the 9, but I'm sure he wasn't looking at it. He was probably thinking safe the whole way. So Steve's going to make this 4-ball and get back out in an awkward spot for the 5, but still makeable. Not happy by any means with the position. He hit that ball a little too hard. Pocket speed is where you needed that on that shot. Just enough to make it and lay that cue on that side rail for the 6. But again, he's going to leave Roland a long shot. So it looks like Roland lined up on the 9-ball instead of the cue ball and shot at the 5 with the 9-ball instead of the cue. So it looks like he just awarded him ball in hand for that error. And leave the balls where they are, and Steve comes to the table with ball in hand on the 5. I'm not sure what the ruling is of using an object ball instead of the cue ball. But Roland, as a courtesy for shooting the shot the way he did, gave him ball in hand. Which gives Steve the opportunity to bring himself within 1 of tying. Douglas is Nick Briggs, sponsor TTMD pool player. Also a Lambros Q representative. Wayne Everhard is taking a break until this match is over, and then he will get back on. So Steve looks to be on a good run here after getting the ball in hand. He's going to leave himself a long shot on the 9-ball. And he's just going to rail the 9-ball first and leave Roland the 9-ball straight in